everyone. So today we're back with another Sheglam makeup review, but today we're not actually really doing like a true full-on collection. I would call this more of like an expansion of a collection that they already have. So I believe in 2021, Sheglam came out with their Chromazone collection, and just recently they have added on to this collection with a few new products. So I'm going to be going through the products in this collection expansion and share with you guys what I think about these products. And really quickly, if you guys enjoy my videos, please give me a like and definitely leave me a comment below letting me know what you guys think about this collection. I love making these videos and I would love for more people to see them, so give me a quick like to help with the engagement. Alright guys, so this is the Chromazone collection. Now this is actually quite a bit smaller than their other collections because this isn't really a true standalone collection on its own. And if you guys didn't see my original video from the original Chromazone collection, definitely go check that out. There are a few new products in this one that were included in the previous collection. So that way you can catch up and get all of my thoughts on all of the products I'm going to be referencing to today. First off, I love the box of this. It's so pretty, very simple and straight to the point. It's very cool. I like how like in a certain angle, if I angle it, you can see the word zone disappear. It's kind of cool. Love it. So you can purchase some of these items individually or you can get the whole collection. The collection is $29.99 and let me share with you guys what is in it. So this is what the inside of the box looks like. So first things first, here we have some little stick-on like gemstone, rhinestone type of thing. I ended up not doing those today, but maybe one day in the future I will try these out. But they are just your run-of-the-mill adhesive sticky rhinestone jewels. I feel like this would be a really fun set for like a music festival or something like that, but I didn't feel like I needed to use the rhinestones today. So as far as the rest of the products in here, we have 3 of their multi-chrome gel eyeliners. Now the original collection also had 3 colors, so these are 3 brand new colors. And then over here we have 3 new, kind of like a cream jelly type of eyeshadow product, and there are 3 colors of these as well. So the multi-chrome flaky gels, you can get those for $6.99 individually, and the gel liners themselves are $3.99 individually. So starting off with the little flaky gels, whatever they call these, there are 3 separate colors. The first one we have here is called Cosmic Pearl. This one is a bit more of like a white, pinky orange type of shifting color. It is absolutely stunning. I love the colors of this. It almost has that like glow in the dark green kind of shift to it. It's so pretty. So that is the first color. And I wanted to mention, I really like the packaging on these. They're so cute. If you look carefully in the jar, it kind of comes to like a point, kind of like the end of a diamond, and it just looks so neat. I feel like they did a really good job on the packaging of this. And one thing you might notice, these are not filled up all the way. I'm sure that these are most likely filled by weight and not by volume. So that is one thing to keep in mind, that if your jar is half full, it's probably supposed to be that way. So unfortunately it does look like the jar is about only half filled on this one, but I'm sure it is filled to the correct weight. The next color we have here, this one is more of like an icy blue kind of green purple shift. This one is called Mayhem Mothership, and this is actually the color that I am wearing on my eyes today. I will talk a little bit more about what I did to achieve this eye look in just a few minutes. And finally, the last color, this one I feel like has the most like wow factor when it comes to like the whole multi-chrome shifting type of product. This one is called Hypnosis, and this one is a really bright, intense purple. It has a little bit of like a green olive shift to it, a little bit of orange. This one is super pretty as well. So I'll also include some swatches of what these look like on my hand, trying to shift it around a lot so you can kind of see the full spectrum of the color. Never tried a product like this before. I think ColourPop also sells some eyeshadows similar kind of consistency to this. It is a very light, whipped, moussey type of texture. It's very interesting if you've never tried it before, and it is just like packed full of like shimmer and sparkle and iridescent flakes and all kinds of things like that. And now really quickly, let's get into the application. I will warn you though, the first attempt didn't turn out so great, but I did include that in this video so that way you guys can kind of see the trial and error process that I went through. I ended up taking off the first look, but that's alright because I think we ended up with something even prettier. So to start off the eyeshadow, I actually did a little bit of a throwback to the original Chromazone palette. So I just took this brown here and just did a little bit of wash of that on the outer part of my lid and blended that up into the crease. So that way I have just a little bit of eyeshadow laid down to work with. I've never really worked with this type of formula on the eyes, but oh my gosh, you guys, like look at this. This first one is in the color Hypnosis, and let me take the cap off just to show you guys. Like this is so pretty. I think that these are supposed to be similar to the Jelly Much eyeshadows from ColourPop. I have never tried those though, but you guys, this, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So I am going to just take some of this onto my finger like that. And I'm gonna focus this mainly on like the main part of my lid. Oh my gosh. And the texture of this is so interesting. If you've never felt an eyeshadow like this before, it's almost kind of like a whipped marshmallowy type feeling. It's very like moussey and airy, and whipped is the best way I can describe it. Now there's not a whole lot of base color to it. I can definitely see bits of my skin kind of peeking through. I want to see if I can kind of layer this a little bit. See if we can get more of like a full coverage type of effect. So I don't know if you'll be able to see, this is just like one layer here. On the eye, it mainly just kind of is showing off that purpley kind of color. I want to see how this looks if I try to apply it with a brush. Definitely adding a little bit more coverage with that second layer. But if I look really closely, I can still see a little bit of my skin peeking through it. So I definitely think that this is something you'd want to have like a base shadow on underneath. If I just applied this to the bare skin, I think that it would be a little bit on the patchy side, but I think definitely with a brush is making this go good. Actually, it's like I got it on there, but then my brush kind of picks some of it up. So you do gotta work with it just a little bit. Yeah, I think one layer with the brush is almost as good as the 2 layers I did here. So I think with a brush is definitely the way to go with these. All right, there are a few spots where I can definitely see that it does not want to stick. So it does look a little bit patchy in certain spots. Let me do an up close on my camera phone so that you can see a little bit more of what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you can see on this eye, this is the one that I applied with the brush only. It applied very well at first, but you can see how it's starting to kind of like separate, and there's definitely a lot of little patches there. Yeah, I'm definitely liking this eye a lot more than this one. I think I went up a little bit too high on this eye as well, and now it's just kind of like patching off in a weird kind of way. Okay, the more I mess with this, the more hot mess this is turning into. I think I might actually just completely take this eye off and redo it. But before I do that, I do want to finish up using the other ones on this side. So the next one I have is in the color Cosmic Pearl. This one's a little bit more of like that icy white to pinky orangey kind of shifts. Okay, so I'm going to just take that on the brush, and I'm going to start focusing it more towards on the inner portion, plus a little bit onto the lid. And that hot pink kind of reflexy color is really shining through. I hope you can see this on camera. All right, and then this last color here, this one is called Mayhem Mothership. This one's a little bit more of like a bluey greeny kind of color. And I'm gonna try focusing this one on the lower lash line on the inner corner. Okay, we went crazy with this one, you guys. We went off the rail. This one kind of like flaked, and I tried to like kind of re-maneuver it, but I feel like this one you're gonna get an overall more of like a messy look than like a really carefully placed look. So I don't know, I think these probably work best just on the lid, and I'm totally going to remove this because this is just a complete mess. So I'll do one more up close just so you guys can see what this looked like on my eyes. Okay guys, we just went crazy with this one. At least you can see all the colors now. So the pinks are here, the blues there, and then the purple of course is on the eyes. Yeah, I'm not loving this on my eyes. Not really loving it. So we're gonna take this off and we're gonna try something else. Okay guys, second time around, I think this one a lot better. Please excuse this eye. I think I got a little bit of glitter fleck in it. My eye's a little irritated as always. But let me catch you up for the second attempt. I think this one turned out way better. So using the original Chromazone eyeshadow palette, I took a little bit of the matte brown, and then I did a little bit of this color on the lid. Then I went back with just the Mayhem Mothership color and just did that over the shadow, the green shadow that I laid down, so it had more of a base color to it. I actually really like how this turned out a lot more. The first attempt was a hot mess garbage fire, but we don't always get everything right the first time. I really like this look now though, because it's giving me kind of like mint chocolate chip vibes, and I think it's really, really cute. So I think I was just trying to do too much at once, and I've never used this type of product before, so there's always going to be a learning curve with things like that. So my tips for these would be, number one, don't try to do all of them at once, and number two, just do these as like a little shimmery topper kind of thing on top of a shadow that you put down first, because otherwise your bare skin is going to show through a lot of this and it's going to exaggerate the patchiness of it. So I think that was just user error on my part. So with these types of products, they are definitely a little bit different to work with if you've never used a product like this before, which was definitely the case for me on that first attempt. I feel like I pretty quickly figured out what I liked and didn't like about this type of products. So I definitely don't think I would ever use these on their own on the eyes. However, I feel like it could be really fun to do like on the body or on the face as well. If it was like a music festival kind of vibe, I feel like it would be really cute to kind of do like a little bit on the temples of the cheeks. That would look super cute. And as far as the price of these, I think that they are just a little bit more up there for what you're getting. It is a quite small product, but I feel like it would last you a while, granted that it doesn't dry up. That is another concern I would have with this type of product. Cream shadows tend to dry up quickly, and I don't know how often I would use these. So that is something to consider if it's not something you think you're going to use all that often. All right, and then the last three products in this collection are more of their gel eyeliners. The first one here is called Pixels. This one is this color on top. It's kind of like a silvery icy blue kind of color. This one, however, I feel like it doesn't have as much of a true like multi-chrome kind of shift. To me, it looks more of like a really intense like metallic baby blue silver. Still an absolutely gorgeous color though, I'm not gonna lie. Next up we have the color Whirlwind, which is this one here. This is a little bit more of like an olivey goldy green type of color, and this one definitely has a little bit more of a shift to it. Whenever I shift it, it kind of looks like it goes a little bit more to like a true bluey kind of color, and it's got just a little hint of like a goldy reflex too. And then finally, this is the one that I am wearing today on my waterline. I'll do a quick application so you can see what this looks like up close. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of this in the waterline. Hopefully it will be noticeable. Let's do this eye because this one's irritated. So wow, in person, I am really seeing this show up really nicely on the waterline. Ooh, that looks kind of pretty. Yeah, this is definitely showing up nicely. I think that also was the perfect color choice for this. That is so, so pretty. I really, really like this color. All right, so that is the color on a trip. I really like this one. This might be my favorite of all three of the new colors. This one is a bit more of a deeper green, but then it shifts to almost a little bit of like a violety purple kind of flash. And it's so pretty. I feel like it worked really well with the eyeshadow color that I went with today. And then really quickly, these are the three older colors that were released in the original collection. So I just kind of wanted to swatch all of those just so you had a little bit of like a color comparison reference to see if any of these colors are similar. And I would say totally not. They are all individually distinctly different colors. So there's no color repeats at all in this collection. And I couldn't be happier with these. I think that these are great. These are $3.99 individually, and I think they're totally, totally worth it. If you didn't want to get this whole extension collection, I would recommend getting the eyeliners. I have never been let down by any of the Sheglam gel liners. Every single one that I have gotten has been amazing. It glides on so smoothly onto the waterline. The color stays, it is vibrant, it's pigmented, and it's so inexpensive. They are probably not even just like my favorite of like Sheglam makeup or even like drugstore makeup. Like it's some of my favorite eyeliners ever because they are so affordable and they are good. All right, guys, and that is it for the Chromazone collection extension part 2. I don't know. I am so glad that they extended this collection though, because this was one of my favorite ones that they did, and I have been wanting them to come out with more of these multi-chrome type products, and I'm so glad that they finally did. I wish they would have had like just a couple more products in here to kind of really like round it out a little bit, but nonetheless, I actually really enjoyed this collection. If these kind of multi-chrome, holographic, iridescent, whatever color shifting you want to call it, if those types types of products really appeal to you, I think that this is a really good set. And if there's just like one color you're interested in, get the individual color and just get what you want. Looking at the price of this is a little bit more expensive than their other full-on collections. I would say most of Sheglam's collections that they come out with tend to range from, I would say typically $35 to $50. So for this one being $30 but only really having about 6 actual products in it, it does make it feel a little bit more expensive. However, I feel like this is just such a unique collection and I think it's worth a few extra bucks in my opinion. I would definitely get this again knowing what I know now, and if multi-chromes really are your thing, this is definitely something to check out because I know that multi-chrome products are expensive. So it's nice that these are at a much more reasonable, affordable price and you still get that really fun color shifting kind of effect. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like and subscribe. You can follow me on Instagram, link is below. And until my next video, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.